Hello, everyone. Hey, you know what? It's we're having a big blackout here today, and after the schools are closed, a lot of people don't have power. Uh, it's kind of a crisis situation, but it's nice out, so nobody's going to freeze to death, fortunately, and hopefully they'll get it going pretty soon. But here's the point: is what it made me think of an academic and an educational sense, how reliant everyone has gotten on technology. Case in point, our friend, the calculator. Fabulous tool. This can do things that computers couldn't do years ago. But I think sometimes people become too reliant on it. I had a student earlier today who made it in because the schools were closed. So they were off of school. Anyway, we had a problem we were doing. And it basically boiled down to 13 plus 17. 13 plus 17. And immediately they went to reach for the calculator. And I said, wait a minute, you can add that. You don't have to write it down. Um, they could, but it was such a stress. And it really was a little bit over the top. I'm not expecting people are going to do every possible thing with a calculator, but my point is that at some point, it's fine to have the tools and to use the tools, and they certainly are useful and should be used appropriately. But it doesn't, what word to use, excuse or get us away from having being able to do the basics. And I see the same thing, a lot of reliance on internet. I have students that come over to my office, math, science, history, where they don't have books. Everything's on the computer, which is great if you don't want to carry around a 60-pound backpack. I get that. And, throw out your lower lumbar area because you got such a giant backpack. But what do they do when the internet goes down and they can't get access to the technology? I had somebody over here Tuesday night and they couldn't get online for some reason. I mean, my internet was fine and I was getting online fine on my computer, but they couldn't get in. They couldn't do their homework because the homework was online. And they had to not only get it online, they had to write it on the tablet with a little stylus sort of thing and submit it right there. So we were kind of stalled. So just to be clear, I'm not anti-technology, and I'm not sure anybody really cares what I think, but I'm just saying I'm anti-reliance on technology. And I think it's important to keep the fundamentals like being able to estimate and round. I'm talking about math and project possibilities and things like this and keep them as really strong skills because they're important. And sometimes they can save a lot of time. Um, it's an important skill to have for things like the SATs, important thing to have just for classroom math. Probably not as useful in English or history, but still, I think important things. So, yeah, I just kind of wanted to get it off my chest a little bit since I'm thinking about it. And it's just odd that in the last 2 or 3 days, I had these really kind of a little bit outlier, off the chart experiences with it. So, I may get back. I'm setting up a podcasting episode around the same topic, and I think sort of the extension of that we just get a discussion of how to do some of the fundamental skills like estimating and things like that. So, see what you think. Anybody has any questions or comments, you can drop them in the comments below this wonderful image of my picture. Here's a question. Yes. Do they even teach skills like estimating in school anymore? Well, fortunately, unfortunately, I'm not in the classroom every day. My time of doing that is fortunately, unfortunately gone. But they do have things they call mental math, which I think is essentially an estimating skill. What's 99 plus 104? Well, you round 99 up to 100, and you round 104 down to 100. So the answer is about 200. That sort of stuff, yeah. Most math classes I'm aware of, kids are using calculators. There are sometimes sections on tests that don't allow them, which are more process-based. Typically a little bit of more advanced math, actually, when they're graphing or doing things along those lines. Second question Is it worth going back and teaching people who become reliant on the calculators and our technology to be unreliant? Hmm. Well, that's a good question. I think so. Listen, I was going to have a calculator in your pocket, although you kind of do with a phone. Um, but if you're in a store, let's talk real world. You're in a store and you're trying to estimate tax. Okay, so whatever the toaster oven is $79 and it's 10%, 5% tax. Can you mentally at least ballpark that? And I think those sort of skills are important. So, third question is, uh, why is it that they have gotten so into online textbooks? Well, I can tell you one of the reasons is because of cost. Textbooks are really expensive. They're a burden that way, and they take up a lot of room storage wise. And truthfully, a lot of teachers have gotten away from them because the initiatives of interactive learning and inclusive learning and holistic learning and things like this, which blend multiple topics into one. But just from the sheer cost, I mean, a math book, a history book, they're $150 each, times the number of kids in the grade, and you upgrade them every couple of years, and it's a big budget line item for a school, and you multiply that by as many classes as you have. I think the other side of it clearly is the portability of having things on a laptop or a tablet or something like that, and these are good reasons. Uh, there's no black and white absolute here that one is awful and the other is great. I think probably you're going to hear most academics cite those two reasons. I think the third one is there's a collaborative ability with the technology that's actually really cool. I would reference a podcast I just published, and I'm not really here to plug my podcast, but I guess I am, with Dr. Steve Milletta, who's a superintendent of a giant, giant school district in Georgia. And we had a long, long 15-minute discussion on the place of technology in his mind, in his school, not just in the school day to day, but teaching children down the road. Um, but I think those are three of the reasons. That the collaborative piece is pretty neat. You have multiple people can work on the same project because they're logged in to the same thing. Let's see if there's any more questions. There aren't. Okay, listen, thank you. I try to do these lives intermittently, not every day, but probably most. If you have any questions or something I didn't cover here or a topic you'd like to hear about, or not just in the live, but maybe in the podcast or in the community, let me just plug one thing here because I'm excited about it, is the Make the Grade and Maximum Education community. And this is launched officially, and it is growing, and it is doing what it's supposed to be doing, which is providing information and action items to parents and students to help them maximize their education. And if you're interested in the group, there's the link. It is on Facebook, so you have to be on Facebook, but you may be watching this on Facebook. So I'd say scoot over there, check it out, and see if it's something that can help you, because it's a place to ask questions, interact, engage, and hopefully get some things you want to do answered. So if you want to get a hold of me directly, there is my direct email. Try to get back to people quickly, not always in the same minute, but usually by the end of the day or the next day. So I appreciate everybody who has come on. Please share this if you can. I invite you to check out the podcast. I'm pretty proud of what's going on there. I think there's some really relevant topics there. You can get there through the website and then click on the podcast. So I think regardless of your grade level, how old your child is, or what your interest level is in SATs or math or whatever, or just general executive functioning stuff, I think you'll find stuff there that you will find useful. Anyhow, it is 2:00 here. I got a student coming in any second, so I'm going to sign off. I appreciate it. And listen, don't throw them away yet, but use the best calculator in the world up here. See where that gets you. All right, Steve Green from Make the Grade the Success Doctor, wishing you TGIF and a great weekend.